Welcome home, y'all. Welcome to the 10th day of the Kerrville Folk Festival. We are going to be doing our winners concert today for the New Folk, for the Grassy Hill New Folk Singer-Songwriter Competition. Before we start, I do want to give a huge thank you to Grassy Hill for sponsoring New Folk, as well as sponsoring the live stream that we are doing of both the competition and the winners concert. I will remind you again, we are participating in an economic impact survey. If you haven't already filled out a form back there at the foundation booth, please go do so. It really helps us get funding to support future festivals. A couple of announcements tomorrow afternoon. We will have Yappy, which is our Young Artist Performer Incubator. It's open to kids 13 and under who want to figure out what it's like to be on stage and tell a story or a poem. So if you have young ones, please bring them out to that. It's a great experience, and Brenda Freed, who does that program, is fabulous. So our first New Folk winner today is Cindy Kalmenson. She hosts a songwriting group in Nashville called Girls with Guitars that is really designed to foster female voices in the genre. She's won first place at the West Coast Songwriting Festival, the Chris Austin Award at Merle Fest. She's won the South Florida Folk Fest competition, and she's been a finalist at Rocky Mountain and Falcon Ridge. Please welcome Cindy Kalmenson.
Fishing since I was single, and I don't go out much, and I don't commingle. Since I fell in love with that sailor named Terry, you ain't caught a fish since I got married. Well, I'm so sorry that you feel a little regret, but you just would not settle for second best. You were so in love with that lady named Carrie, but she left you lonely and I got married. Yeah, I got married. Oh, you just circled my hook, shook up my bait. My clock, it was a ticking and I just couldn't wait. You knew I was fishing for keeps while you were playing catch and release. I was playing for keeps, not catch and release. Well, I got a good man and a kid in school. I got a piece of land and I'm nobody's fool. Yeah, I'm still in love with that sailor named Terry, and you ain't caught a fish since I got married. Yeah, I got married. Ooh, I got married. Yeah, 44, pregnant. Yeah, but I got married. Oh, you knew I was fishing for keeps while you were playing catch and release. And I was praying for keeps, not catching not good for me. You know that time, last call, pair up. Well, I took a little time out and had a beautiful baby. She's 19 now, so she doesn't listen to me much, so the best thing I can do is do me and live by example, so here I am. Thank you. So I couldn't believe it, but after 8 years or so, I had enough songs to do a new record. And this title track called Home Again. She packed on a Sunday and left on a Monday with all she could fit in her car. Set the ring on the bed with a note that said, I never meant to go this far. Then she drove all the way back to the place where the wild things grow. Back to the farm and into the arms of the one she could never let go. Who said you can't come home to an old familiar place and find the one left behind, time never erased? Who says you can't come home? Well, he could see the light on from across the pond. Been dark since her grandmother died. He gave her school ring on that porch swing to the love of his life. But he married the girl from the next town over. That was the price he paid. He gained a son but lost the one he loved down by the lake. Who says you can't come home to an old familiar place and find the one left behind that time never erased? Who says you can't come home again? And now they sit and listen to the songs they've been missing on that old porch swing. 18 years just disappears when you're falling in love again, again. Who says you can't come home to an old familiar place? Find the one left behind, time never erased. Who says you can't come home? Who says you can't come home? Who says you can't come home again? Welcome home. Thank you. This is really something special. So I lived there in Nashville 13 years and went when I was 34, and I'm glad I was 34, not 24, because I was more into the camaraderie than the competition, you know, and bringing on everybody. Like I said, I did the girls with guitars because I ended up in a little venue, windows on the Cumberland, me and the bartender, and that was it. So I thought, well, maybe I'll bring some friends along, and they might have more friends than I do, which they did, and it built up for a great little fun time. But the time there still drops down on me, and thank God for men with problems, like I said before, because they fortified me with lots of songs. But I knew when to quit. But anyway, this one just kind of dropped in on me, and was very grateful for it. It's good to hear your voice again, even though it's 2 a.m. It gets me thinking, you only call me when you're drinking. What is it about the whiskey that makes you think of me? In spite of all the miles from here to Tennessee. But if you called me in the morning, I might think you were true. Don't get me wrong, I ain't complaining. It's always good to hear from you. Don't you have another someone to keep you company? It's been a decade and a half, and you're still calling me. Don't get me wrong, I ain't complaining. So please don't misconstrue. If it weren't for the whiskey, I'd never hear from you. But if you called me in the morning, I might think you were true. Don't get me wrong, I ain't complaining. I get lonesome too. It's good to hear your voice again. It's 2 a.m. It gets me thinking, I hope you never quit drinking. Thank you. Well, yeah, I did all my research at the bar, and this is what that was like. I met you in Nashville at the Broken Spoke. You were singing on stage in a haze of smoke. I bought you a drink when you said you were broke, and I was loaded. Then I drove you home 'cause you drank too much. I could hardly maneuver that pickup truck, and the first thing in the morning the repo man showed up. Well, that's a first. romantic too. When you fall in love with a drinker, hook, line, and stinker, you know what you get when you linger too long with a good-looking, singing, guitar picking, drinking. You get a what was I thinking kind of song. Well, after I had a drink or two, everything looks better, especially you. But I've already been to that barbecue a time or two, or 3 or 4, but who's counting anymore? The whiskey's gonna leave you hurting, and I'm leaving too, that's for certain. I'm gonna miss all of the fun and the flirting, not the hurting. When you fall in love with a drinker, hug, a line, and a sinker, you know what you get when you linger too long. You get a good-looking, singing, guitar picking, drinking. You get a what was I thinking kind of song. Yeah. Well, the walls I won't be climbing, wedding bells they won't be chiming, but the stars will still be out shining over Nashville or Austin or Boston or Kerrville. When you fall in love with a drinker, woo! Hug, line, and a stinker. Oh, you know what you get when you linger too long with a good-looking, singing, guitar picking, drinking. You get a what was I thinking kind of song. Oh, good-looking, singing, guitar picking, stinking. You got a what was I drinking kind of song. Thank you. Who knew I'd be singing that in front of people? Well, I deliberated a long time about what to do for my last song, which I'm assuming this is, and I just thought I'd do the one that I got into this great contest with, at least half of it. I'm so grateful to be here. I've submitted many times 25 years ago. So either y'all lowered the bar or I got better, because I got in and won, so thank you. I got my tubes tied, my hair dyed. I'm gonna take a long ride. Got my bills paid, my hair sprayed. I'm not gonna be afraid. My kids are doing fine. Not one is doing time. I think I'll take a ride to Big Sur, 'cause I am 3 years shy of 50, feeling rather nifty in my midlife Chrysler. Well, life's so sweet, it's such a treat to talk to anyone I meet. No tummy tuck, no liposuck. I traded in my pickup truck. Find me alone. My kids are all grown. It's my turn to cut loose and cause a stir, 'cause I am 3 years shy of 50, and I'm feeling rather nifty in my midlife Chrysler. making up time with sweet talk and wine. It's a brand new day. Oh, I got my boots on, my blues are gone. I'm singing out my favorite song. Let's take a ride, cast aside all the troubles tucked inside. I'm single and free now, it's all about me. I'm done wishing for the way things were, 'cause I'm 3 years shy of 50, feeling rather nifty in my midlife Chrysler. Oh, I'm out of my midlife crisis, and I'm into a midlife Chrysler. Thank you so much. Thank you all the amazing other, oh, you guys. You can make a Valley Girl very happy.
Thank you to Cindy Kalmenson. Next up, we have Mattaline Roger. She's our Canadian. She's played all over Canada and a whole bunch of folk festivals up there. Winnipeg, Shelter Island, Vancouver Island, Stan Rogers, Summer Folk Festival of the Arts and Crafts. So we're just delighted to have her here at the Kerrville Folk Festival. We usually get 1 or 2 Canadians in the contest every year, and we're just so delighted that this year it was her. Y'all give a warm welcome to Madeleine Roger.
Just a little higher would be awesome. Yeah, thank you. Da, 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 da. That works great. Hi. It'll be great. Thanks.
Okay, let me try again. Mattaline Roger!
When I first loved you, you said, hold on, I'm not ready. So I went walking through tall grass, hoping we'd lay among wildflowers. Among wildflowers. when you wouldn't leave my side, and when you brought me a bouquet from the roadside of wildflowers, of I know you're leaving, 'cause you will not meet my eye. I hope you'll think of me whenever you find
This has been the most absolutely magical week of all time. And there's been a lot of most magical weeks of all time, and this one really, really takes the cake. I have been hearing about this festival for many, many years, and finally was able to come on down to Texas. First time in Texas, first time at Kerrville. And I'm so magicked by this festival and the standard way of sharing art, of sitting together silently in a circle and giving somebody their full undivided attention as they share their beautiful art. And I've heard so many phenomenal songs this week, and I'm just so full to the brim. So thank you to all of you. I see some faces here of people whose songs I've heard. You're all incredible. I'm going to do a song that I wrote back when I was touring. I used to tour in a duo with my twin brother in a band called Roger Roger. And he built my guitar. Isn't that awesome? Lucky me. And this thing would happen when we would show up at all of these venues is that so often the sound tech would go to my brother and ask him what my sound setup was. And he's 6'8" and has a big beard. And I was like, what's going on? Why do you think my brother knows more about my sound setup than I do? And the thing is, my brother doesn't have a hot clue about audio at all. And that is an interest of mine. So I got grumpy.
I'm just a girl, I haven't got a clue. Somebody fill me in where a man got to. Help me with my microphone, help me lift this curse, help me wrap my head around this verse. You don't have to say what you already showed. I was worthless, I was worthless, I was worthless. It's 16 weeks. I'm just a girl who made a little mess. How to fix me up is anybody's guess. Bleeding in the kitchen, ketchup on the child. Talking too much, acting too wild. You don't have to tell me what I already know. I was paid less, I was paid less, I was paid less since 16 years. Oh, oh, oh. I'm a thinker, I'm a hiker, I'm a mountain biker, I'm a shovel, I'm a hammer, I'm a creaky ladder, and I'm a hugger, I'm a mother, I'm a midnight lover, and I'm a dancer, I'm a singer, I'm a long hair tosser, and I love to love you loving me. I have a woman's body and it mostly does the trick for me, except for when I'm told what I'm not meant to be. Don't make me hear it, don't make me hear it, don't make me hear it. Another 60 years more.
Okay, seeing as there's so many songwriters here, I'm going to do one about my experience being a Canadian going down to the fair city of Nashville. And I had been quite determined to never go, really stubbornly, because there were always these throngs of songwriters coming home to Nashville, or coming home to Winnipeg and being like, this one time in Nashville, I wrote the song when I was in Nashville. And so, pardon? Oh, that's how you feel in Austin? About Nashville or about Austin? Got it. Well, I can say that mass migration appears to be true everywhere. And yeah, I find it so fascinating and beautiful that there is this place where so many people have the same dream, or such a similar dream, and it becomes this incredible, beautiful cacophony of sound that almost becomes a silence of its very own. There's a southern accent in this small town gas station. If you got a motor oil, I'm burning through it. I stick out like a cardinal in a row of swallows. Can't pass for local in these city clothes. I'm heading down to Nashville, never thought I'd see it. I'm heading down to Nashville, never thought I'd see it. This is so funny. This has happened to me in this song in the exact same spot before in heat like this, and my brain shuts down. Okay, what happens is I'm driving down to Nashville, and it's 900 miles to the Bars and Bad Habits. That's what it is. I'm heading down to Nashville, never thought I'd see it. No, but it's not there. Okay, so what happens in the story of the song is that I drive down to Nashville, and there's the Bars and Bad Habits and something about that, and then the next verse happens. Downtown at the guitar shop, I stand in rows and rows of old necks and fretboards. If I haven't got the cash, can I still try it? I move my fingers lightly on strings of steel, playing a song only I can hear. And I would have to work all year to buy it, 25,000 and no spare time. I've been singing in the corners like radio static, spend all I make just to keep going at it, like I don't mind only being radio static. $1 to the jukebox, a handsome stranger comes to tap my shoulder. Do you know the Texas two-step? I'll walk you through it. I let him spin me over like a ballroom doll. I keep up fine, he wants to call sometime. And he was cool and charming, but I saw through it, the hungry spirit and the roaming eye. I've been dancing under speakers and radio static, running from love like a girl who can't stand it, when I'm in their arms and only feel radio static. Radio static. Radio static. Now I'm just gonna look the 3 cameras in the eye and say that was captured for all eternity. You just have to stick the landing, right? Okay, here's one about imagining that your life is all going sideways, and then discovering that when you look around at all of the beauty in the world, that maybe you weren't quite on track by thinking things were a hot mess. You caught a fever dreaming of everything you imagine you were missing, like a rich mom who died too young, left you everything so you could do whatever you wanted. Quit midway through college, upgrade your electronics, move to the coast of Portugal, tell yourself you're not horrible for fever dreaming, fever
steps on the avenue, children walking 2 by 2, finding an extra 20, knowing it's temporary to be fever dreaming, fever
Thank you all. I've got one last song for you. Thank you so much for everybody who's involved in this festival, all the volunteers and the people working and all the performers and everybody involved in the New Folk Song Contest. They set up this amazing camp for us and have just been treating us like total gold this whole time. And it's been just such a beautiful way to be welcomed into this phenomenal community. This last one I'm going to do is, I've been hearing that phrase, welcome home, a lot in the last while, and this one touches on that thought that, you know, you can find home wherever you go if you look for it.
Clouds in white against a heartbreak sky. I'm looking at the passing of time. Infinite fields, impossibly green. Another year older, another year older. Ancient fence, stone by stone, keeps the flock from going out alone. But my legs are long and over I go. Carry me far from trouble and woe. Caledonia, will I ever know you? Will you take me in? Caledonia, will I ever know you? I feel I'm coming home. Run to the ocean for a different view. Was there something in myself a tide could undo? Kick off my shoes when the sea gets low. Wash me over, wash me over. Caledonia, will I ever know you? Will you take me in? Caledonia, will I ever know you? I feel I'm coming my past and take the fall. Inches closer to standing taller, break up bangs and a first tattoo. I had to go, had to go. Caledonia, will I ever know you? Will you take me in? Caledonia, will I ever know you? I feel I'm coming home. I feel I'm coming home. I feel I'm coming home.
Thank you so much.
Mattaline Roger. Okay, we're gonna need just a little bit of setup time for our next artist, so bear with us. After that, we are gonna take a 15-minute break. That would be an excellent time to go up to the merch booth and check out some great first festival merch and merch for the artists who are performing. We always urge you to do that to support them in any way you can. So go do that in the break. Thanks. What happened? Okay, our next artist is Sara Beth Go. She actually left music for a while after her accountant told her that based on her...
Wait, don't tell. Don't tell.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to tell that? Okay. But she came back to music after becoming a therapist, so Sara Beth Go.
Hey! This is the intro. Aaron, oh Aaron, with your $395 fee, It's apparent, oh Aaron, that you know what you're doing. And with all the money in the world, all the accounts you handle, I know mine isn't much, Aaron, but I'm bothered by what you said about what I do for a living. You ask about my parents every time I call you Aaron. You wonder how they're doing. When I picture your office, it's cluttered with losses and hopefully some returns. Stacks of taxes all over your desk. Yes, I guess, Aaron, you know what you're doing. And how could you have known how important my write-offs were to me? All the gas mileage from traveling to cities and the music store receipts. You broke my heart with one little word. Oh, Aaron, I swear to God, it's so much more than a hobby. I really thought Erin would like the video and the song, and I sent it to her, and she promptly fired me and my husband as our accountant. And my dad said, okay, write a song about that. Go ahead. You heard this one the other day. I think it was December, at about the time I was ready to give up. I can remember the ruminating thoughts that wouldn't stop in my head, the dread, the thread of stories, none of them true. Then there was a little white pill that changed everything. This is a love song to the neurons that finally fell in place. I can make music. I remember when that used to make my mind race. The good I couldn't see it, couldn't will my brain to change. Then there was a little white pill that changed everything. Well, I wrote this several years ago, but I thought it wouldn't be well received, 'cause psychotropic medications have a stigma bigger than the diseases they're trying to treat. But have you ever talked to someone who was seriously thinking about ending things? I mean, seriously considering ending things? Well, I have, I was, and the thing that saved me was a drug. So in the morning, I swallow you with a big cup of coffee, not performing, being held up by a chair and all your power. I'm a flower by the hour, I bloom a little more because of a little white pill that changed everything. This little white pill changed everything. Okay, so who can guess what the little white pills were in that video? I see a hand over there, yes? Oh, not that medication pills, but what did you say? Yes, but I also want to know what you said. Wellbutrin. Okay, maybe we just start shouting out all of our medications that would, Lexapro, yeah, we got them all. But I see everybody. So I make these videos, as you can see. I kind of tried to do it, and I was like, oh, I can do it. So I guess we would call that folk stop motion. So welcome to folk stop motion. Thank you. I've also had some really, really cool, fortunate things that have happened in the past couple of years. One of them was that a song that was 8 years old, I got an email and it said, "We need your publishing info because Tim McGraw might release this." And initially I was like, this is not real, this is spam, but it was. And so shortly thereafter he did. Are you crying? My husband he's so proud of me. And he's such a good husband. Nathan K. You should check out his music too. Nathan K. period. He's an amazing singer-songwriter. And are you representing me also because I am a therapist in therapy? He's also my AV guy, so I would call you my band, I guess. This song was released last November. It's called Hurt People. It is a beautiful song. I was trying to rehearse it so that I could sing it today, and it just was like not landing. And so I was just trying over, and Nathan was sitting there, and I said, I don't want to sing a song that put me on the map. And Nathan's like, record that right now. So then I finished this song, and it's sort of a song about the music business and about how we kind of outgrow things that we've always thought that we wanted, even if we're completely grateful for them. And what's even more special is that I wrote it here at Kerrville 2 days ago. So I've got the lyric down here. I may mess it up, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to sing a song that put me on the map. It doesn't fit my voice, it's not really who I am. 'Cause every time I drop his name, I get a little sad when somebody's eyes light up. I don't want to learn the formula for a hit, or be a guy with rhymes that line up perfectly rhythmically. I heard someone go, shh. When you live in a town that's bloodthirsty for clout, I'm not good at being a vampire. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful a song has opened doors I've waited so long for. It's just I'm not that sure I want to walk through them, 'cause it's not who I am anymore. I'm jealous when somebody writes a good song. They play a chord that strikes a chord inside everyone. Or maybe it's afraid that I'm not good enough. I'm tired of being afraid that I'm not good enough. When will I stop being afraid I'm not good enough? 'Cause enough is enough. This next one features Nathan's shoelaces. I'll often find objects around the house, and Nathan will come home and he'll be like, and we're married, by the way. This is actually my husband. Which I have a song about that later, about being a married woman and a certain fireman in my life. You'll hear about it in a minute. But Nathan will come home and he's like, where's my stuff? And I'm like, I needed it for the stop motion. I'm so sorry, honey. You know, so that we like to say, that's why he wears Crocs. Go ahead. This is the first stop motion that I made. It's called Long Togetherness. Kiss the North Pole of my head, read me things I haven't read on a long togetherness. Fewer fractures we will make, we'll fill them in with gold in case on a long togetherness. We'll take a walk down shoelace roads that no one's heard about. Shoelace roads wide enough for two spaces, only us on a long togetherness. I'll embroider poems into the lonely spot in our bedroom on a long togetherness. And if your sunshine goes away, we'll bunker down with bread I've made on a long togetherness. We'll take a walk down shoelace roads that no one's heard about. Shoelace roads wide enough for two spaces, only us on a long togetherness. Only us on a long togetherness. On Halloween, I got into an accident on I-65 headed home. A big white truck smashed right into a Jaguar, and my Subaru was simply too close. And it's the worst kind of feeling when there's nothing you could do but hit the car in front of you. Don't worry, we were all okay, and then we sat and waited for Tennessee's finest responders. And one by one they asked if we were okay, the cops and the firefighters. And it's the weirdest feeling when the man in uniform catches the middle-aged woman's eye. I'm a married woman, I'm a happily married woman, I'm a happily married woman who's just human and notices the chiseled jaw of the smoking fireman. And when I say smoking, I don't mean cigarettes. Don't worry, we were all okay, and then we sat and waited. That's the wrong verse. Hang on. Oh, here it is. And then a bulging hand knocked on my window and asked me if I was hurt. My inside voice said, I love your Halloween costume, but my outside voice said, no, sir. And it's the weirdest feeling when you realize your mom was right about men who firefight. I'm a married woman, I'm a happily married woman, I'm a happily married woman who's just human. And I just texted my friend the word yowza, 'cause these firemen are on fire. Okay, first, there are three things that I wanted to talk about that I absolutely love about this festival, and I think you might be in agreement. Number one, when you're at a campfire campfire, and you hit a bad note, or you're like, I don't know what's next, you don't get the like everyone's like frightened for you, but instead people are like, you got this, come on. So it feels really like safe to practice and mess up. Sure, you can give a hand to that. The second one is that I have seen so many people pull out their phone, and at the top they'll pull up a note and it will say like ideas, and they'll just like jot down an idea, all these writers amongst us, and it's almost like there's just little fireflies of ideas that people are reaching for constantly. It's such a special thing to watch. And then the last one is Sparkle Joe. And I was thinking we could give Sparkle Joe some love. Hang on. Before you stand up, Mike, just kidding. Mike's the best. We should clap him too. But I want us all to turn around and say, we. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We love you. He's the best. I think he kind of hits on some of my New Orleans upbringing, because he's always here, and he's just gonna fly his flag. And we all, actually the first year I came, I was like, why isn't anyone looking at this man? Because everybody was listening to music, and I just sat in the back and filmed. I have footage of you last year, Sparkle Joe. Also, Jenny Bieneman, is it Bieneman or Beineman or Beneman? Okay, Beneman, has a sign-up list, and I had a friend who said, just pass it around at your shows. So she's gonna just pass it to the right. If you wanna sign up for email, you can also pass it. I'm okay with that. You can sign up if you want for emails. If you sign up, I will send you this stop motion that I'm about to play, which is a stop motion I made for this song that got me into New Folk last year called Something Without a Solution. And it's not out yet, so you'll get that special treat. Okay, here we go.
I was supposed to visit the next Saturday. You sent me a text, said to call. Everything wasn't okay, but I kept the ticket in case the doctors were wrong. They're only human after all. Grandmother brought you to the old Baptist church. We were both 9 and 3rd grade when we met at first. We found ourselves as we found each other, laughing and awkward through it all. Sitting alone in a chair, maybe you'll lose your beautiful hair with a needle in your chest and the chemo flowing. I wanna be a respite from all your desperate confusion. Maybe we can figure out something without a solution. Video of childhood memories. I sent in a text hoping you'd laugh after the first surgery. I want you to know that I do anything, but I'm only human after all. Sitting alone in a chair, maybe you'll lose your beautiful hair with a needle in the chest and the chemo flowing. I wanna be a respite from all your desperate confusion. Maybe we can figure out something without a solution.
figure out something without a solution. Maybe we can figure out something without a solution.
I was actually rushing to get that done in case I got chosen to be a New Folk finalist winner in the winner's circle, which I'm so thankful for. Like, this has just been, last year I was in a different place, and this year has just been, I actually read it from Casey's, she posted something that said, sometimes our endings are new beginnings in disguise, and that like really resonated with me because there's been a lot of endings that have been disguised as new beginnings. So also in that song I like to point out, because it's about my best friend from childhood, and I don't know if you saw like the heart at the end that was made of, did you see that it was poured out of like so it was poured out of a bottle of cucumber melon. Does anybody remember Cucumber Melon from Bath and Body Works? And I had bought Cucumber Melon, and I was like, I was like smelling good in high school, and all of a sudden, like I smelled her with Cucumber Melon on, and I'm like, what scent are you using? And she was like, oh, I got some Cucumber Melon, and I'm like, that's my scent. Like, that's my scent. And so as I was kind of rushing to finish the video, and that was supposed to be kind of funny. I know I didn't get many laughs, but it's ridiculous that someone would claim a scent, right? But it's like peeing on your territory kind of thing. And so I had peed on my territory, and she was trying to get up in there with her Cucumber Melon. So at the end of the video, I'm like, what else do I do? I just have, I just keep on smushing things, and I'm like, I should use Cucumber Melon, because now we can both share it. We're united underneath the heart of Cucumber Melon. As you can see, it took me 30 years to grow up, but I did. All right, we're down to my last song. And if you were here, was everybody here last Saturday? Okay. Were some people not? If there weren't people, this is actually a requirement to sing along, okay? So, and you'll see why, because this intro is so long, so we're gonna kind of watch the intro. But this section over here is gonna sing Timo or Timo. Let's try it. Timo. Okay. Let's try it for real. Timo. Okay, and then this section will be Timo or Timo. Ready, go. Timo. Thank you. And then Timo. Okay, good. We have some group leaders. If you guys want to stand and lead everyone, that would be cool. Okay, how do we feel about it? I should have been tuning while I was doing that. And a little bit of story behind this song too. As I've been, and part of the newness of what's happening in my, endings and beginnings is I'm playing and writing songs with the programs that I'm building tracks. And so one of the tracks on this computer program I pressed it, and it was like, Timo. It was like African choir, and this beautiful big choir. And so that's kind of where the song first originated. So if you're writing songs, it doesn't have to be, inspiration struck. It can also be a button on a program. I love hearing your mic, your voice, your laugh, Mike. It's very distinct. Ha 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 ha. That's a good one. Okay. So here we go. Hit play, honey. Timo. Timo. Good. Timo. 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 We're gonna do this chord. Timo. Timo. Great. Timo. 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 And then we go, Timo, Timo, Timo. Maybe this section go, Timo. Keep holding it. Timo. When it finishes, and you can stop. Good. Look to the person next to you and say, "Great job." This is a love song about the worst fight my honey and I ever gotten. I'm glad that I forgot there was a lighter in the seat. I would have lit the car on fire if I knew it. Instead, I grabbed the plastic bag you had been eating from and slammed it against the dashboard. And now there are Doritos in my face and in your hair. It's beautiful outside, but ooh, it's ugly in here. I'm yelling, take me home right now. You're yelling, clean this up. We have forgotten who we are. I wanna go somewhere far away, hide in the breeze, high up in the trees. Sinjara Forest or Monterey, clear my head in the clouds. Remember, we used to be a team-o, a really good team-o. Come on, baby, get back on my team-o. We go to separate rooms at home and do not speak. You write a pretty song, I take a very long nap. I'm either high on drugs or in a lucid dream, standing half naked by your side. There's a million things we have to see. You're looking like Tarzan and me like Jane. We're swinging through the forest, making love in the heavy rain. 'Cause this is exactly who we are. Come on, let's go somewhere far away, hide in the breeze, high up in the trees. Sinjara Forest or Monterey, clear our heads in the clouds. Remember, we used to be a team-o, a really good team-o. Come on, baby, get back on my team-o. Team-o, 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 team-o.
Sara Beth Go, y'all. All right, we're going to take about a 15-minute break. Please do try to keep it to 15 minutes and be back here so we can get started with our next three artists. Thank you all so much. All right, welcome back to the second half of our New Folk Winners Tour. I want to take another moment to thank Grassy Hill for sponsoring this contest and the live stream that is going out on YouTube and Facebook and the Kerrville website. So we're really grateful for that, and we're bringing this concert to many people across the country. I don't know about the world, but hopefully. Next up, we have Katie Dahl. She was a New Folk finalist last year. She's released 5 albums. She was named a Falcon Ridge Folk Festival Emerging Artist Showcase winner. And she is also a playwright, recently completing The Fisherman's Daughter. Please give a warm welcome to Katie Dahl.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
I took a walk in the redwood trees out in California. I thought the trees might speak to me that warm and windless summer day, saying we've been here 500 years by the wild Pacific Sea. But it took one look at those big old trees and I worried they would fall on me. Worry, my friend, worry, my love, worry, my shepherd and shield. I borrowed more trouble than I'll ever repay. Frost on the summer field.
I lay down with a beautiful man, his eyes so kind and blue. We lay down on a feather bed in the cool of a July afternoon. I felt his skin, I felt the sun, I felt my soul would mend. Oh, I loved that lovely man, and I worried it was gonna end. Worry, my friend, worry, my love, worry, my shepherd and shield. I'll borrow more trouble than I'll ever repay. Frost on the summer field. I woke up on a clear blue day, feeling light and wise. The night had brought me peace at last and brightened all of my skies. I could see my worry gone from me, gone on the westbound track. My worry had finally set me free, till I worried it was gonna come back. Worry, my friend, worry, my love, worry, my shepherd and shield. I borrow more trouble than I'll ever repay. Frost on the summer field. I borrow more trouble than I'll ever repay. Frost on the summer field.
Thank you. I wrote that song a while ago when there were things to worry about. Lately, everything's fine, so it's less relevant. In fact, I feel sort of like at an advantage because I'm a real champion worrier. You know, from way back, I've been at it a long time, and almost as long as I've been trying to get into this contest. And I just feel like the poor other people who are now confronted with the current era are like trying to run a marathon with no training, you know, but I've been training for years. My worry muscles are fine. I'm ripped. I think that's all I want to say before I sing this song.
I have a son who almost died, had a dad who did. Both times what was crazy was the way the lights stayed lit, how my breath kept on coming while I was listening for his. There inside the corridor, wrapped in my mother's shawl, pictures of the dogs and kids and grandpas on the wall. I felt something stirring from the far end of the hall. Both doors open, both doors open. Sometimes I get to worrying, I want to leave my bed. Those bar lights are a beacon, might start blinking in my head. Might go looking for a reason to start pulling at the thread. I might be standing in the parking lot, my hair all dark and warm, field breathing heavy from this coming summer storm. Then before I know it, a rustle in the corn. Doors open, both doors open, both doors open, and the wind is coming through. like currents in the river. Most days I don't jump in. Most days I forgive her. Most days the white dove wins. Most days I keep the window shut. Don't let that tempest spin. But when I fiddle with the locks and find they're coming loose, sometimes I steal the eggs out from beneath the golden goose. Sometimes I bite the apple and it tastes just like the truth. Both doors open, 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 and the wind is coming through.
Thank you. That was, oh yeah. I love Sara Beth's idea of passing around a mailing list. So Karen Mall is going to pass around my mailing list and tempt you to sign up. It's very enjoyable, witty missives, only sent. And every time actually you click on one of my emails, you get $5. That's how it works. You're welcome in advance. So that last song, it was crazy because a couple months ago the Pope died, but right before he died, he had another health crisis, right? Like he was hospitalized for a while, and I got texts from a few different fans one morning with screenshots because the headline read one morning that he was in the hospital. Pope's doctor says his condition, could go either way. Both doors are open. Like, isn't that crazy? I know. I thought probably the Pope's doctor was a Katie Dahl fan. Was the only conclusion I could draw. I have been dreaming about this particular set for so many years. Well, thank you. I first came to Kerrville in 2008, and I had applied to the contest for the first time, and I sat and I watched the winners, who included R.J. Cowdery and Betty Sue and Devin Sproul, and I watched them play their winner sets, and I was like, a dream really took root in me then, and I sort of held. When I won on Sunday night, I texted my friend and she said, "You caught your white whale," which is true. This is the white whale, and I entered this contest 18 times, y'all, and so this I know. Thank you. I will not add up the money in entry fees that I have spent, but it's like I just really call it persistence or craziness, but whatever it is, I feel so excited to be here and among such kind people and fellow talent that I admire so much. So thank you for having me here. I have a question. I was just about to go on, and I was gonna do one of the songs that I played last week to win with, but then someone else said do this other song they heard in the campfires. So without knowing which either song is, I'd like you to tell me. Raise your hand if you'd like to hear the song that I played last week. The other choice is going to be a new one that you didn't hear unless you were at that campfire. Okay, last week, raise your hands. Okay, new one you didn't hear yet, raise your hands. Okay, great, rock on. That was such a definitive vote. I love it. Sara Beth, I'll do your song that you wanted me to do. Yeah.
Jodie Foster moved into my head when I was 14 with her blue jeans and her honey hair. We both had green eyes and freckly skin. We both spoke French. We were basically twins. Jodie and me, the perfect pair. Jodie Foster trembles when she's about to cry. So do I. Jodie Foster speaks to me. She seems tough, but she's sweet to me. Jodie Foster calls my name. She's a prostitute. She counts cards, talks to cannibals, but it's never hard to see how we're the same. Jodie Foster always finds a way to make it through. Me too. Jodie doesn't want to speak about the man who did that big bad thing. I don't know why they won't leave her alone. And Jodie doesn't want to shout about anything she's sad about, but I do. I want her to know. Jodie turns the saddest things to diamonds, hard and bright and shining, right up there where anyone can see. Jodie, won't you watch me cry? Be my witness, testify. Won't you make a diamond out of me? Jodie, I'm just trying to find a way to make it through, just like you. Jodie Foster moved into my head when I was 14 with her blue jeans.
Thank you. Would you please welcome to the stage Karen Mall? Come on out. Speaking of people that I loved in my early youth, Karen was one of them. I first met Karen because I wrote her a fan letter when I was 8 years old. She was the very first person that I ever really, really loved with a guitar in their hand. Like that first troubadour I ever just adored, you know? So it is really amazing. And she's the first person who let me camp with her at Kerrville and, kind of showed me around. So it's kind of full circle to have her. Let me grab her guitar that I'm using.
I've been coming to this festival since 2000, but I've known Katie Dahl since the 1900s.
Yeah, all this time since I was 8, 10 years later now, it's interesting to reflect. Yeah. This is already plugged in, right. College professors. Let's talk about those for a minute, shall we? I don't know, when I was in college, I was in love with 70 to 80% of my professors. They sort of had this they were kind of approachable and you saw them a lot up close, potentially in a small office, but they also were sort of larger than life and unapproachable. And so I was really I loved them all. And I got to campus the first week. I went to this small liberal arts college in Minnesota, and there was a professor who spoke at an opening convocation who I immediately loved. Let's call her, because there's a live stream and I shouldn't use her real name, let's call her Sue. So, Sue, I just thought she was awesome, and I thought not only that she was beautiful and charismatic and compelling, but also I thought that she seemed sad, and that I could tell that she was sad, and the other 18-year-olds were probably not as emotionally evolved as I was. Like, I sort of felt that I had the wisdom to see the depth of her sadness in this way that the other people didn't, and if she only knew what I knew about her, the possibilities were endless. So I asked my advisor, I was like, I want to take a class with Sue. And he was like, okay, she teaches Russian. And I was like, oh, well, dear Mom, I'm taking Russian. So I did take her class, and I did attend her office hours religiously in hopes that I would be able to communicate to her, our connection. And it seems like, just based on external clues, that she did not get the vibe that I was having. So she did give me an A, so that was it wasn't all a loss. But anyway, so this is a song that I'm still, maybe she will hear it sometime, and maybe she'll finally get it. But this is a song I wrote about her.
Skinny waist, skinny smile, you see your mother in the mirror every once in a while, that's right. You're still her child. I see your big heart beating, it's gonna bust right out. That brown tweed blazer and your yellow blouse, that's right. I see you choking on the words in your mouth. Hey, hey, this is the summer grass. Take off that winter jacket, cut the chit-chat. Don't give me any of that. All I wanna know is what makes you sad. Colored glass, stony church, I saw you look up at the ceiling when you talked about her, that's right. I could see it hurt. Oh, is she walking with another by the big blue domes? You have to leave her lying in the catacombs, that's right. Either way, you're walking alone. Hey, hey, this is the summer grass. Take off that winter jacket, cut the chit-chat. Don't give me any of that. All I wanna know is what makes you sad. You got something in you, it's like something in me. I see it in your writing in the microfiche. I see it in the heavy way you're walking down the street. I see it in your class when I'm sitting at your feet. 'Cause sad girls wear bright boots and I'm wearing some bright boots too. So let me show you the map on the soles of my shoes. You'll know that I do what I do, that I knew you. So turn in your grades, come out in the rain. We'll watch that Cannon River shoot its banks, that's right. Let's watch it flood the plain. Hey, hey, this is the summer grass. Take off that winter jacket, cut the chit-chat. Don't give me any of that. All I wanna know is what makes you sad. Unstack your stacking doll, put down that Russian novel. Tell me all about your little purple pill bottle. All I wanna know, all I wanna know, all I wanna know.
see. Some things to know. I do have merch back there. I've got vinyl and I've got CDs, and there's a mailing list going around somewhere. There's also brochures back there about how you could go on trips with me. I lead trips to Scotland, Ireland, Alaska, things like that. I'm very fun, as you can see. So, happy to tell you about the other professors I liked once we're across the ocean. Consider that. Let's see. I feel like this next song is really about. This is one of the songs that I did last week, and first of all, it should be said that every song that is not this song was a loser in this contest. So was not accepted as a finalist. So I think that is. They're special too. Once a loser, always a loser, right? This last song is so much about the ways that I've changed in the last, 10, 20 years of my life, that I have been, that Kerrville has sort of been this goal for me, and. It's really cool. And when that first year I was at Kerrville, I was watching the Winners concert in 2008. I was sitting next to Karen and I said, the problem is I don't have any other songs to submit. I had submitted the only 2 songs I thought were good. And she said, well, you don't know what else you're gonna write. And I was like, well, nothing that good, man. I mean, I've written my best things. I'm 25 and I'm done. It's cool to sort of to have a moment to look back and see how I've changed. And this song is about how I've changed in love. And it is my wedding anniversary today, 11 years. So I will send this out to my partner, who, to his immense credit, loves this song and is home with our son. So thank you so much for being beautiful and here and receptive, and it means a whole lot to me. So I'll leave you with this one.
Turns out I married a man. That isn't what I meant to do. I see women when I'm dreaming, women when I'm waking too. If I had to start again, I'm not sure he's what I'd choose. But we don't get to start again, and I wouldn't want to. What they say about girls like me is that we can't commit, that we'll bark up any old tree just for the hell of it. Well, I'm not looking to bark. Well, yes, I miss a woman's touch. No lover is everything, even one who is enough. He is a river, he is cool and deep. There are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. On my wedding day I wore a dress. These days I wear a suit. Pretty sure I'll never wear a dress again. Pretty sure I never wanted to. There were so many years I was pushing up against the dam, calling out to everybody, can't you see who I really am? He is a river, he is cool and deep, but there are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. The other day my old pal Kate said, lately you are very gay. It made me happy when she said that. 'cause inside I really feel that way. And sometimes my hand in his seems to block up everyone's eyes, so they only see the river, not the big white sky. He is a river, he is cool and deep, but there are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. He is a river, he will always be, but there are birds on the banks.
Kerrville, everybody. Thank you so much.
Katie Dahl. All right, well, we're getting set up for our next artist. I am going to mention the foundation booth either today during New Folk or tonight at Main Stage. Go by and check out the Kerrville Folk Festival foundation booth. Either become a member, renew your membership, or look at the great silent auction items that we have back there. Please support the festival in any way you can by at least going by and talking to those people to find out what we do the rest of the year. Next up, we have Martin Gilmore. He's from Colorado. He teaches songwriting at the University of Northern Colorado and is on the staff of Swallow Hill, which is a great organization there in Denver. He's open for a number of great bands, including the infamous String Dusters. So give it up for Martin Gilmore.
Thanks, everybody. My 6-year-old is watching, so he requested this song. This wasn't what I was going to play, but you didn't know that. But this is for Bridger. He's out there watching today. This is a song that I wrote on the shores of Jenny Lake in Jackson, Wyoming, called Jenny and Jackson, because I'm like a puddle of creativity. Jenny and Jackson, they fell in love one night in a cabin by the glow of a stove, somewhere in the mountains in the weeks before the spring, before the mountain tulips bloomed and the birds began to sing. They spent each night together, keeping from the cold. They spent each day surviving and feeding their store. Jackson went out hunting and Jenny kept him fed, and every night they'd sing a song before they went to bed. And the lyrics flowed like fire, it kept them safe and warm. The music seemed from heaven sent to lend shelter from the storm. They stayed right there together, safely by the stove. That's how Jackson and Jenny fell so deeply in love. Well, the winter had come early, no one was prepared. The river was frozen solid and the north wind froze the air. She'd come down from the highlands, blinded by the snow. She didn't know how she'd found the way to Jackson's door. She'd run out of food and water, her roof began to fall. She couldn't keep her fire lit and went to face the storm. She felt a hand to guide her and followed where it led to Jackson's tiny cabin there in the mountain woods. And the lyrics flowed like fire, it kept them safe and warm. The music seed from heaven sent to lend shelter from the storm. They stayed right there together, safely by the stove. That's how Jackson and Jenny fell so deeply in love. Now it's been 4 years and 20 since the winter of that storm, since Jackson and Jenny fell so deeply in love, since the town folks found the cabin and the fire that had died. They found Jackson frozen and Jenny by his side. But now upon the mountain in the weeks before the spring, all the birds are silent, but you'll still hear something sing. Some say it's the crickets, some say it's the wind. I say it's two lovers both safe in a cabin. And the lyrics flowed like fire, it kept them safe and warm. The music seemed from heaven sent to lend shelter from the storm. They stayed right there together, safely by the stove. That's how Jackson and Jenny fell so deeply in love. Yeah, that's how Jackson and Jenny fell so deeply in love. Appreciate it. I grew up in Wyoming, southeastern Wyoming, in a little town called Wheatland. And has anybody ever been to Wheatland? It's kind of between Chugwater and Dwyer. Has anybody ever been to Chugwater? You're the real people out there. And I read an article a while back about the loneliness epidemic amongst older men in America. And as I was reading this article, I was like, man, I know 100 old cowboys like this. And it prompted me to write this song, which I played the other day. And just, if you know somebody who has lost a person and is all by themselves, reach out even if they don't want you to. That's the lesson I've learned. I've been riding fences, a cowboy in the cold, alone out on the prairie, patching up the holes, tightening the wires, setting posts out on the plains. I've been riding fences in the rain. Well, it doesn't seem that long ago you said you'd come out here with me to this little prairie ranch house where you asked where all the trees. Well, you didn't like the dust and wind. You said you felt alone. You said you didn't know if you could make this feel like home. But you really must have loved me, 'cause you decided that you'd stay. And the house took on your spirit, the grass took on your sway. The trees that you planted, they grew perfect in that place. And you were right all along, I do enjoy the shade. Well, a cowboy's life is spent trying to control the wild range, bringing order to confusion, fighting off the change. He's a master and protector of the man with the final word, patching up the barbed wire to keep the herd secure. And I've been thinking about the day the doc said your time had come to go. Now I understand why my old man said it's better not to know. All these days and hours thinking of what reason there might be that God would choose to call you home instead of calling me. I've been riding fences, a cowboy in the cold, lone out on the prairie, patching up the holes, tightening down the wires, setting posts out on the plains. I've been riding fences in the rain. Thanks. There's a painter who lives in Boulder. His name is William Stair, Stoehr, but it's pronounced Stair. He paints these really amazing, huge portraits. They're too big for my house. I live in like a little tiny bungalow house, and I don't think I could hang one of these paintings in my house. But they're so striking and amazing. They're amazing portraits. You should definitely look them up. And occasionally, I give myself a songwriting assignment. I'm like, I need to write some songs. Nothing's happening here, so I just thought, I'll write a song about one of his paintings. And a lot of his paintings, the subject of the painting is people who have struggled with or passed away from addiction. And he does a lot of self-portraits and stuff. And so I chose one called Thea, and he's painted several pictures of her. And I didn't even read the story. I just kind of looked at the painting, and as I was writing the song, I realized halfway through, I'm actually writing this song about myself, which happens. I'm not always an introspective songwriter, but this one is about me, and it's the title from my new record, which is just me singing and playing the guitar, called Thea is a Light Blue. That's the name of the record and the song. Thea is a light blue, white hair with a red hue, lines of age showing through, with dark eyes that see right into you. Thea doesn't have to speak a word, she listens to me when we confirm, tells me when she thinks I'm being absurd, and there in the silence I know I'm heard. She says, oh, I know you know what you're going through. She says, can't you see, I see what you can do. And this picture of you is a picture that you drew. Thea is a light blue. Thea stares at a long gaze as I wonder what I became. 'Cause here I am, nearly middle-aged, feeling like I wasted all of my younger days. She looks through a long veil, back along my life's crooked trail, all the things I did and the times I failed. She wonders if they're in the proper scale. She says, oh, you know, I know, yeah, I know what you're going through. She says, can't you see, I see what you can do. And this picture of you is a picture that you drew. Thea is a light. I could forgive. Way back then I was just a kid. I didn't know how hard life is. There's no reason to think it would be different. Not black or white, but some shaded gray. Patches of color, they're on display. Spots and specks to illustrate who we become along the way. Well, she says, oh, you know, I know, yeah, I know what you're going through. Well, she says, can't you see, I see what you can do. And this picture of you is a picture that you drew. Thea is a light blue. Well, she says, oh, you know, I know, yeah, I know what you're going through. She says, can't you see, I see what you can do. And this picture of you is a picture that you drew. Thea is a light blue. Thank you. I should have said that song is about my inner voice. My inner voice isn't very nice to me all the time. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but I'll be like driving down the road and just like my inner voice is like, Martin, you're stupid. Like, oh, okay, well, I guess I should fix that. But I grew up in Wyoming, and that's not really a thing there, I guess. Since we're in Texas, my great-grandmother was born in 1908 in Amarillo, Texas, and she lived until 2009. She was almost 101, not quite 101, but she always gave me a lot of perspective on the world because I'm a big fan of Western history, and Red Cloud, the famous Indian chief, he died in 1909, so she was still alive when he was alive, and he was born probably in the 1820s when Andrew Jackson was president, and Andrew Jackson was born before the United States was a thing. And so I think a lot of times we kind of look back and history seems so long, but I would talk to her about whatever crazy thing was going on, and she'd be like, it's always been like that. For instance, my grandma, she would always say the Depression was so hard because they lived in the Dust Bowl, in Amarillo, Texas, and La Junta, Colorado. And my grandma would be like, it was so hard, it was a terrible time. And my great-grandmother would be like, I was poor before the Depression, I was poor after it. It didn't make any difference to me. I always think of her, and so I want to play this song since I'm in Texas. And this is a song for my great-grandmother. Well, 7, that's how old she was, following a wagon through the sand. From Amarillo to New Mexico, that's the way they traveled back then. Well, it was 1950 and her family was struggling, headed west to chase the hope of a dream. To the land of enchantment, hoping the best would happen, along with her family. Well, she told me when I was younger, son, the way that you make it through. You keep your nose pointed to the brightest horizon. Keep your feet falling and rising. Don't you worry about what you left back east. You won't get nowhere if you won't move your feet, you know. That's how you make it home. Well, she weren't no lady 20-something, wishing for the best. She was a child of northern Texas. Her home it always was the West. She never graduated, didn't call herself educated. She just trying to make it through. She told me when I was younger, son, the future depends on you. Things are easier now, so these new hard times, they seem harder to everyone. People are too selective, they have no perspective. Harder things have been done. There's been too much giving, too much careless living. Too much is wrapped up in the things we own. You gotta let it go. That's how you make it home. Well, she married young by the standards today, raised twin girls in the hardest times. Her husband built roads and the Horsetooth Dam and trapped coyotes to make a life. 12 years her daughters were in school was never the same one more than 8 months. And they lived in trailers and stone wall houses. Sometimes their floors were dust. Well, she told me, son, don't you ever regret. Take any break that you ever can get. Happiness isn't dollars and cents. Hard times are came, but hard times are went. And you can't build a life out of money and stone. You build it from love. That's how you make a home. Thank you. I have to say, I've had a super great time here in Kerrville. I had to go back to Denver this week to teach a couple of classes, and I was so sad getting on the plane and leaving everybody. And I'm glad to be back today. But what an awesome place and what a special thing. And to all the folks running the New Folk Camp and all the folks who competed in the contest, I've made so many great new friends, and it's really awesome. This is a super special thing that I think everybody here knows that they have. But if you don't, it's very special. And thanks to Madeleine, she let me borrow her guitar today, so I didn't have to fly with one. Yeah, and I'm going to play one last song here. When I first moved to Colorado, I lived in an apartment. I just kind of rented an apartment off of Craigslist with this kind of criminal guy. And he was nice enough, but, he was a truck driver, and he had a really good month once, and so he went out and bought himself like a really fast Firebird, and then proceeded to get enough speeding tickets that he lost his driver's license, which affected his truck driving job. He was a nice guy, but maybe not, he's not thinking ahead of what happened. But he had all sorts of amazing stories. He had lived this really colorful life, and he had worked on the Tombigbee River on a towboat. And so occasionally I'll be sitting around and my former roommate will pop up in my memory, and I remember these stories. So I was sitting at my table and I wrote this song about some of the characters he told me about. Thanks for listening. My name is Martin Gilmore. Well, now the Tombigbee River is crooked and deep, with the water all muddy and the banks all steep as it rolls to the Bay of Old Mobile. Well, a chug-a-lug tugboat towing and barger from Columbus, Mississippi to the Gulf Coast margin, and me, I'm the captain at the wheel. I'm just an old riverman, old Susanna, from the Tennessee River down to Alabama, slugging in a swamp with the six-man crew, singing these hard-working towboat blues. Well, now if you's a paying, this boat's afloat, and we'll tote whatever's needin' totin', anything from asphalt, a grain to shale. Put her on the river, straight on the channel. Ain't no barge on this river that we couldn't handle. If it floats tied to us, we'll make it sail. I'm just an old riverman, old Susanna, from the Tennessee River down to Alabama, slugging in a swamp with the six-man crew, singing these hard-work towboat blues. It's hot in the summer, hot in the morning, hot when it's busy, hot when it's boring, hot when the boys don't do what they ought to do. Well, a towboat slugging, plugging away, chugging and lugging this barge all day, and me, I've got them old towboat blues. I'm just an old riverman, old Susanna, from the Tennessee River down to Alabama, slugging and swamping with the six-man crew, singing these hard-working towboat blues. Well, my daddy was a towboater, my granddaddy too. I was born to sing these towboat blues. I'm just an old riverman, old Susanna, from the Tennessee River down to Alabama, slugging in a swamp with the six-man crew, singing these hard-working towboat blues. Yeah, singing these hard-working towboat blues. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Martin Gilmore. All right, we have one final performer for the Kerrville 2025 Grassy Hill New Folk Singer-Songwriter Competition, and that is Abigayle Oakley. Oh my goodness. She was born in Las Vegas. Oops, I have to put my glasses on. She was born in Las Vegas. She collaborates with Challenge America, which is a group that songwrites with veterans to help them recover from PTSD and the traumas that they faced in the military. They're a great organization. You should check them out. I know Mary Gaucher is also involved in those causes. So please go check that out when you get time. As I said, this will be our final performance of the afternoon. Please come to Main Stage tonight. It's going to be a great lineup down there, a great show. Please check out our craft vendors and our food vendors. And without further ado, Abigayle Oakley. Sorry, I was like looking for the A word.
Down here we really got a lot. 24/7, 7-Eleven, 11-11. Make a wish on a clock. Eat a hot dog. Pray you live long. How could you ever ask for more? Space simulation, alienation, quadratic equation. Fall in love with a dork, soup with a spork. Aren't you glad you were born on this side of the sun? Ooh. Don't get me wrong, we don't got it right. General election, natural selection. You could cut the tension with a knife. So take a slice, enjoy your pie on this side of the sun. Ooh. On this
this side of the sun. This side of the sun, this side of the sun, this side of the sun. Yeah, we're all having fun on this side of the sun, this side of the sun, this side of the sun. Yeah, we're at Kerrville Folk Festival on the side of the sun. Down here we really got a lot. 24/7, 7-Eleven, 11, 11, 11, 11.
Thank you so much. I've just been pinching myself all week long that I get to be part of this community here at Kerrville. And yeah, I've just met so many wonderful, wonderful people. And I was leaving a campground, or a campfire last night. We were all playing some songs, and it was like 1:30 in the morning. I was walking back, and I looked up at just the stars in the sky. Have you noticed the stars, too, out here? It's pretty sweet. And then I was thinking, I have this idea that I think we can all help each other on. It's an idea for world peace. So let me know what you think. Yeah, we do.
Hypocrites in politics, how do we begin to fix the breaking news? Breaking hearts, used for views and sold for parts. Some will pray on bended knee or give up entirely, but I've got a plan and a satellite. I hope to make contact tonight. Come on down, welcome in. I bet you got the answers in your shiny spaceship. You've been around the universe. Down here on Earth we could use some saving. About time we had an alien invasion. You could be our enemy, shoot at us with laser beams, then let us win. Then we'll see how strong we are when we're a team. You would be our saving grace, reunite the human race, and we'll put you down in history as the ones who brought the world some peace. So please, come on down, welcome in. I bet you got the answers in your shiny spaceship. You've been around the universe. Down here on Earth we could use some saving. About time we had an alien invasion. Alright, repeat after me. This is Earth Cadet to outer space. Please send us a sign. Be it a shiny star or some northern lights, or a beautiful festival in hill country with a bunch of folk musicians who are writing songs, and then the people who attend the festival also write songs, and then we share them all in this beautiful, vibrant community.
shiny spaceship. You've been around the universe. Down here on Earth we could use some saving. About time we had an alien invasion. About time we had an alien invasion. Yay, thanks for playing. That's always fun. Well, I've been in Nashville for almost 7 years now, and I'm sensing that there are mixed reviews on Nashville. I know this to be true. And it's all familiar because before Nashville, I grew up in Vegas, which is another place where people either have really great things to say or not great experiences. But Nashville's been good for me. I mean, I'm playing Robbie Hecht's guitar. Robbie Hecht is a Nashville friend, and I'm making a record with Anthony DaCosta. Yeah. And I'm realizing more and more that somehow all paths kind of stem from Kerrville. Like all these people that I've known forever and I adore, like they have somehow been a part of this festival in one way or another, or they find it later and it's just like, oh, okay, I'm connecting the dots here. This is the only time I have to tune, I promise. That's probably not true, actually. The weather decides when you tune. But how are you all doing? Good? Good. Ooh, there it is. I'm tired of trying to be a rock star. I wanna be where the dirt and the rocks are. I wanna be where I feel small again. So I got my shoes and my tent and my map packed. Watched a YouTube on how to backpack. Then I saw you in bright blue walking up ahead, and I thought, ooh, this is the great outdoors. This is I wanna be yours. It's love at first campsite. My hazel-eyed lover in Patagonia. I fell for you like instant mashed potatoes dissolving over heat. As we watched the flame grow, you spoke to me like I had known you for miles. Now I'm saving up 60 grand to move our life into a Sprinter van, so we can finally chase a new sunset every night, singing, ooh, this is the great outdoors. This is I wanna be yours. It's love at first campsite. My hazel-eyed lover in Patagonia. Now I know Sparkle Joe has moves, but what about everyone in their seat? Give it a little wiggle. I wanna see it. Yeah, nice. I hope our trails always come together. Way out here where the trail mix tastes better. You're in a fleece and I'm in my sweater, singing, This next one I wrote with Jackson Emmer. Any yeah, woot woot for Jackson Emmer. I'm a big fan of his. And we just made a record together. It's his project, and it's coming out pretty soon. And I just love how, you know, these people you meet on your way at festivals, like what you come back to and create together, and like what you see other people creating that come through these like breeding grounds of like cool people meeting and creating art together. So this is one that we wrote. It's about existentialism and dinosaurs. Men with shovels and degrees were working on a dig in Greece. Found the T-Rex of their dreams, got their big chance on TV. Thought they found a vertebrae, turned out it was his left leg. But they still made off with the Nobel Prize, collecting dinosaur bones to make sense of it all, just to find we got the proportions wrong. And we're way, way smaller than we actually thought. Dinosaur bones can teach you a lot. Call it natural history, it's fun for the whole family. Only $40 to see the dead. Drive home in your minivan, this spinning rock is all we have, and you're still making plans like there's a point. Collecting dinosaur bones to make sense of it all, just to find we got the proportions wrong. And we're way, way smaller than we actually thought. Dinosaur bones can teach you a lot. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. That song's out in the world. There's actually a stop motion film, maybe my first and last stop motion film I will ever make is around that song and floating around on the internet. But man, Sara Beth Go's stop motions, how cool was that? Oh my God. That was epic. But some of this new music, it's done and it's not out yet, but it's yours for free. If I have a little thing you can scan and you can just get it for all my new friends at Kerrville. I was excited to share these new songs, so definitely track me down if you would like that. I think the new folkers are going to stand over there and have a little powwow after this, and just, yeah. This song, it's been nice to hang out and not see any billboards and just like be in the trees and the rocks and be with people. But I was driving down the highway one day and was just amazed by what crazy things they can put on billboards these days. So this is called Billboard America. Love is for sale on I-24. Just take the exit for the sex superstore. And written in bold, consider saving your soul at the good Lord, hallelujah.org. Well, they'll sell you love, they'll sell you fun, the best country cooking this side of the sun, and you just
living in Billboard America. Advertise, monetize hysteria. Jesus and French fries and lingerie. Whatever gets you on your way. Well, don't miss the stop if your tank's running low. Fill up on gas, cigarettes, Cheetos, any vice that you're jonesing. There's an arrow that's pointing away from the straight and the narrow. Well, they'll sell you love, they'll sell you fun. The tallest Paul Bunyan this side of the sun, and you just drive by rereading the signs, wondering whether to believe it or not. We're living in Billboard America. Advertise, monetize hysteria. Jesus and French fries and lingerie. Whatever gets you on your way. I guess nothing's for sale on I-24. Just take the exit if you wanna see more.
Well, thank you so much. Gosh, they have taken such good care of us new folkers at the New Folk Camp. Casey Clifford and Pants and Aaron and Justin and Andrew, Jay and Catherine, and then Deb, Nancy. Deb has like cold towels for us in the back when we get off stage. It's like really the star treatment, and like, you know, camping for the first time at Kerrville. I can't imagine doing that without these people. So thank you so much. And of course, thank you, Lindsay and Deb, for getting us here and giving us this space to meet our people. Oh my gosh, that's wow. Thank you. Well, I have one more for you, and I wrote this after being on the phone with my health insurance company, and they sent me to the survey at the end. What do they? I'm sure there's an incentive for doing the survey, right? Surely there must be. I always say yes to the survey. Anyone else? Like, I'm always spending my time there. Anyway, thank you so much. I'll see you around camp.
When I take my exit survey before life hangs up the phone, I hope to answer honestly as I lose my earthly bones. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied were you? Did you do every important thing that you set out to do? Where were you born? Where did you die? What came in between? Checking up boxes, counting up losses, chasing impossible dreams. You see the sights and learn your lessons. Find the answers to the jackpot questions if you wanna know what it all means. Press 3. So I thought about my thoughts and started down the list of things I sometimes, often, and almost never did. And in 50 words or less, tell us what you would change in your experience here seen? Did you find, with few exceptions, you made lemonade out of all your lemons? If you wanna know what it all means, press 1 if you would recommend this experience to a friend. Press 2 if you wanna know how the world will end. Press 4 if you'd like to hear this menu again. Where were you born? Where did you die? What came in between? Checking off boxes, counting up losses, chasing impossible dreams. Did you see the sights and learn your lessons? Find the answers to the jackpot questions. If you wanna know what it all means, yeah, if you wanna know what it all means, press 3.
Thank you so much. I'm Abigayle Oakley. See you out there.
Abigayle Oakley. Thank you all for coming to this performance. I want to once again thank Grassy Hill for both the live stream and sponsoring New Folk. That's a wrap for this year for New Folk. Try to catch them on the New Folk Tour in the fall. And I'll see you all tonight down at Kennedy Outdoor Theater for another great night of programming. Thanks, y'all.